What's up, YouTube viewers? Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. As each week, I discuss with you guys politics and the uprunning Democratic presidential candidates for year 2020. All right. Also, I've been discussing lately just voting, because right now, of course, we're down to Joe Biden, who is runner-up for president, and he's going against Trump. Right now, the voting polls are, they're telling you to, Trump is stating that he believes the mail-in ballots will get lost or something to that extent. And he believes that the mail-in ballots is just not going to get counted right or whatever, get lost somewhere. And a lot of people ballots are not going to be counted right. But I say that, of course, I'm not the president, but I just believe, this is my personal opinion, I mailed in my ballot. If you rather mail in your ballot, you feel more comfortable with, from the comfort of your home, just going to your mailbox and mailing in your ballot, or going to your nearest post office and mailing it in the outside mailbox, I say do so, because your vote matters. Everybody vote matters. And if you want Trump to get out the door of the White House, then you must vote, because we're down to Joe Biden. He's the only one that's running against Trump right now, besides Kanye West. And that will be another video for another day about him. But anyway, today I'm going to discuss Herman Cain. Okay, I know you guys are familiar with him. He is a one-time Republican presidential candidate and CEO of Godfather's Pizza. And he has died, unfortunately, from coronavirus. That's the latest news. Now, they don't know where he contracted this virus from, but it was said that he's had severe breathing problems and he couldn't breathe, so he was carried out of his home or wherever he was at. I'm not sure, but he was carried onto the ambulance. I know for sure on that. And it was stated on CNN that Cain attended one of Trump's rallies. Now listen to this. Back on June 20th. That was my anniversary. But yes, that was the day that he actually attended Trump's rally. And Mr. Cain was at this rally seated by other Trump supporters. Now, I'm not sure if the other supporters were wearing their masks. Some probably wasn't. Some weren't. But I heard that a lot of them weren't wearing a mask. And Cain happened to be one of those ones in the mix that was not wearing his mask. Cain constantly supported the fact that Donald Trump was, he's been spreading across the U.S., telling people masks are not necessary. Which, this is really not factual information. But that's what Donald Trump believed. He believed strongly that, mask wearing, that he shouldn't even wear a mask, and that it wouldn't do people any justice to wear a mask. And he proved that. And many times, when we were seeing Donald Trump do his speeches without a mask, right? Now, Cain also agreed with Trump's idea that hydrochloroquine should be used to treat the coronavirus. Despite, the fact of the experts stating that this was not a good idea. But today, Donald Trump was on TV stating good words about Cain and how he would be greatly missed, But yet, during the civil rights activist and Congressman John Lewis, who just recently passed after battling cancer, he was not seen at Lewis's funeral. Now, was he? I wonder why. Instead, Donald Trump, who was at Mr. Was talking about anybody but Mr. Lewis. Matter of fact, instead of going to Mr. Lewis' funeral, I can tell you who was there. And the presidents that were there were President George W. Bush, President Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, and former President George Bush, and former President Clinton, as well as Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms from Atlanta, and others who spoke highly of the hard work and efforts and dedication in the over 30 years that Mr. John Lewis achieved during his years as congressman in the fight for civil rights for American people. And this man is an extraordinary man. He will definitely be missed by his family and everybody that loved him. And I heard a lot of good news. I watched the funeral personally myself. It was like about 3 hours or so. And it was very good. They had a lot of good singers there that was singing songs, and that was very touching, dedicating it to John Lewis, and a lot of good speeches of how they remember him as being a peaceful man, but wanting to make sure that he get his point across. And if that meant going to jail, I think he went to jail like over 40 times, then so be it. John Lewis, the civil rights activist, he did not care about going to jail because he believed he was having a good, just full cause of why he was here in the first place, which is to fight for civil rights. Okay. Now, I personally found that it was very shameful that Donald Trump did not attend this respectful civil rights leader, but it was typical, for him not to show up, of course. And I feel that it was said that despite the efforts of Dr. Fauci and other doctors warning Trump of the dangers of coronavirus, that he would continue to tell the American people that it's okay. I just couldn't get that or understand why he continuously did that. But at the same time, we are talking about Donald Trump, who is delusional and has been delusional for some time now. Later on this evening, when I looked at the news, the world news, Donald Trump made a lot of good comments about the mask and how people, have to be safe out there and how the children, but yet he was still stating that younger children, now get this, will not be as affected by the coronavirus, that they're, almost immune to the coronavirus. I was like, what are you talking about, Donald Trump? You're our president, and yet you're giving false information. I mean, they specifically said that younger people's immune systems are stronger, but that doesn't mean they won't get a coronavirus. Okay, there has been some young people that have been given the coronavirus, have gotten the coronavirus, and they don't know where they, contracted the coronavirus from. It could have been at a restaurant, hanging out with their friends, at the bowling alley, at the movies. Who knows? But, this coronavirus, you guys, don't have an age limit. It doesn't have a color limit. So there is not like it's going to be, if you're black, you won't get it. Or if you're white, you won't get it. Or if you're Hispanic or Italian or Jamaican or Chinese, you won't get it. It doesn't matter what race you guys or what age you are. This virus, despite on what Donald Trump is stating, I don't agree with him, because this virus, Dr. Fauci, which is one of the #1 doctors out there, has stated that this is killing many of people. It's over 150,000 people that are not just contracted, but are dead. They're not contracted with the virus anymore. They're dead from the coronavirus. They did not make it. And then it's millions of people in the world that are contracting this virus. And just recently, I think it was last week, that CNN had stated that within a given day, 1,000 people had contracted the virus that fast within a given day. And remember when he first opened up the buildings of the public and everything like that? Well, remember we heard about Florida had got a huge amount of people that was affected from coming back from the beaches of Florida with the coronavirus, as well as Texas. And I have relatives in Texas, like my brother. I have a cousin in Texas and some other relatives in Texas, which is another huge state. Georgia, where I live at, is another huge state. That's why Keisha Lance Bottoms is fighting to try to keep our children safe and not to open up so many, public buildings. And, she wants to have masks mandatory, but she doesn't have the support of the governor, to support her into having these masks mandatory. So I just hope that Keisha Lance Bottom continues to fight to have masks mandatory in the state of Georgia. And, if we're going to open up buildings and steady open up places, we need to, practice high safety precautions. There need to be social distancing. Me personally, I have 2 children that are grown, and they both are going to college. But I tell them all the time that, be safe. Don't be, listening to the fact of you thinking this virus is not going to get you. And they're listening to their friends and other people that are not really practicing safety precautions. But my daughters, they do wear their mask. They do take it with them. I don't know if they wear it all the time because I don't follow them around. But I just told them that I personally believe that if they can go to school online, they just both got accepted in college. So I'd rather them go to school online and be safe than to contract this virus. But that's what Trump wants. He wants people to go to school because he's pushing toward the economy. He ran on the economy. He wants everybody to open up the buildings and the businesses and the schools and everything like as if everything's normal. And that's not going to happen. I mean, the governors need to fight not to have that happen to our children especially. So despite all that, in on top of it all, I just really don't understand why, he would not go to the civil rights leader's funeral. Of course, John Lewis and Donald Trump have had their differences, but I believe that Trump should have showed his face. You talk all this talk and, you're the president of the United States and you don't show any respect for our civil rights leader. And me personally, even if he felt uncomfortable, which he shouldn't feel uncomfortable because he talks about whatever else he want to talk about, right? So he should be able to stand in front of, just like the other presidents did, and speak with common sense. But see, we are talking about Trump. And actually just show support of this great civil rights activist and congressman that dedicated his years of over 30 years, like I said before, of service into the being a congressman and fighting for civil rights for all of us African Americans. And so I just don't get it, why he would not show up, despite the differences, and show respect to this man, and his family, and especially his family that was there. That to me was just not professional. It was not showing us of a president that actually cares. What I did hear was very good speeches. Clinton had former President Bill Clinton had given a very good speech about John Lewis, and I heard a very good speech that was given, about John Lewis through Barack Obama. Especially Barack Obama. And I just feel like that they all were just showing respect and loyalty to the courageous efforts that this man, achieved throughout his lifetime of fighting for justice for, citizens, African Americans of this country, and for all, justice for all. So I don't know, what we're going to do, guys, but if you haven't voted, please vote. Mail in those, ballots. I cannot stress that enough. Please mail them in. Don't hear, all over the internet or on TV or people stating negative, energy from Trump, stating that these ballots won't be counted, because it's best to at least do your part. Do your part. Mail in your ballot if you haven't already, or go to the nearest voting, place and go vote, because we have a lot of people that have fought for our voting rights. Okay, so let's let that be in vain. Okay, we need to support each other and tell each other that, hey, tell your friends and your family members, go vote. Encourage them to vote. I encourage my family all the time to go vote. If you can, go vote, please, guys, because we need a president in office that cares. Really, we need Trump out of the office. We really do. If you like this video, I'm not going to go on anymore, but if you like this video, please click the like button, and for further notifications, click the bell for further notifications. And also, if you want to comment, please comment at the end of the comment section if you want to tell me about what you think about Trump, what you think about him not showing up to John Lewis' funeral. What do you think about the mask wearing? Do you think we should wear masks? Do you think we shouldn't wear masks? Do you think we should wear gloves to protect ourselves? Do you think we shouldn't wear gloves? Do you think that children should go to school right now and the schools should be opening? Please let me know. There's no right or wrong answer. I want to hear your voice. Please be respectful, and see you next time. Deuces.